see my message yesterday?
Which one?
About the engineer, and I thought the upgrade was permanent. And I'm like, oh
Uh,
wait, that's only on the ship you put it on. That's why the yeah.
I don't follow you. Sorry.
Oh, the FSD upgrade. Well, the engineer upgrade. That's only on the ship you apply it on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But did you think it was gonna apply it across all ships when you needed the one?
Oh, I was hoping I'd have the option to do a little bit. Yeah, you know.
Well, you can pin
That's a ton of
if you think you're gonna
materials.
if you think
That's a
you're gonna use the same engineering um, through all your ships FSDs if it's FSD you're doing. If you think you're going to use the same engineering, you can pin that engineering
yeah.
model, and you can.
Well, I mean, the one would be great for exploration, you know, and on the one drive and the heart. I don't know. I was gonna stop in here and look at him and ask, cause I had a question about one or two.
A question about what? Sorry,
Some of these upgrades.
the FSD or
Just different. Some of the different versions that they got.
the FSD?
Um, I just several. There's others as well.
Okay.
They have different names for them, so like hardened and whatnot, overcharged.
It just sounds like a power plant.
Yeah, that too.
Did you try that trade network?
I was getting logged into that Discord. It's taking a bit.
Uh,
Um, yeah, I got in there. It,
I think you have to read up on
I
and
read up on
accept some
everything.
stuff. Yeah, I mean I haven't. I just
There's a lot of
I
reading, but
yeah I don't need to do the reading. I just read through the channels that I think will help me and understand more stuff. Because even though I've got over 21,000 hours in the game, I still like to see if I can. Well, I do learn a lot of stuff by reading these Discord channels, like stuff like the mining I like to do. There's still stuff that I keep learning, reading through posts from other commanders who've discovered this or discovered that. Same with the exobio that I'm doing at the moment. I'm trying to see if I can gain any speed things up by reading through the exobio channels. It just sucks. Wonder if they've got this
did that?
once
Did those?
one. Oh, you
Uh,
go.
I was gonna say the links from that one guy I was doing. He was doing exobiology. He sent me a couple links that helped out, but I didn't quite understand it because I haven't gotten into exobiology, I guess. Yeah, there's so many upgrades.
Or yeah, if you're looking at sometimes one module will have quite a few different upgrades or different
And then they have
modules.
then they have experimental upgrades I had questions about too.
Yeah, little experimentals that you can apply to some of all the core modules, I think. Oh wait, sorry, the sensors and the life support you can't apply experiment, but all the rest of them, obviously the fuel tank you can't engineer. You just change its size.
Integrity's good, right? Higher integrity numbers?
Depends.
Or
Depends. If if you think you're going to need the higher integrity numbers like you do in exobio because your ship and modules take so much damage, then yes. But otherwise, like exploring, if you're not intending to, you don't want to get into combat or any any combat
I'm
in an
fitting out.
exploration
Yeah,
ship.
I'm doing this to
Yeah, just.
my combat cutter right now.
But yeah, if you want anything combat, I would say integrity higher integrity. But more so with PvP, not so much with less so with NPC combat. Because there's only a few times that I've had my NPCs take out my power plant, say. Rarely happens, but yeah, I was quite surprised when it did happen. But I was Tama's T10 AFK ship was under attack by so many ships that I suppose that's why the power plant was badly damaged. Because normally it doesn't take any damage.
Yeah. But
yeah, I would recommend it mostly for PvP, higher integrity for the power plant especially, because that's a weak spot. If they can destroy your power plant, you're gone. If they can destroy your shields, or if you use shields, that weakens your ship, be more hull. So, but yeah, integrity is a good idea for PvP and anti-Xeno. Although I think it looks like the last week or the week before, when the Titan, that last one was on its way over, and I was looking through my anti-Xeno ships again. Looks like that. I'm not sure if they would change something again as far as integrity with some of these core modules. I was a bit confused. I was going to check it out, but yeah, it was like I did. That's one of the reasons I stopped doing exobuy, because there's so many changes. I couldn't keep up with them. Did I say exobuy? I stopped doing anti-Xeno because there's so many changes in so short a period going on. I couldn't keep up with the changes, so I just gave up with anti-Xeno.
yeah.
End of last year. But I've been getting back into it with the last invasion sort of. Oh, no wonder I can't land. I don't even have my landing gear down. Dope.
Greetings, I'm Dr. Celine.
Is chromium something you can find, or is it something that's just like data, like grid resistors and whatnot?
Chromium is raw materials.
Hmm?
Chromium is raw materials. You can get them from brain trees. I get a lot of it from, or you can, if you've got the higher grade raw materials, you can go to a trader and trade down for chromium. But I get a lot of it from mining, so
I haven't done
all of
that
my.
yet. Now that I got my
I thought you did laser mining.
well, Yeah, but apparently I'm out of chromium. I don't have very much. I only have 5 grid resistors too.
Which resistors is different again. It's materials that you collect from.
Cadmium, I got
Oh,
0. Yeah.
I get good resistors from my combat.
So
So blowing up ships, they drop that stuff.
for a combat cutter, what type of FSD drive would you have? Would you have just the faster boot sequence one?
Not necessarily.
With
Not for
increased
not.
range or hardened?
I just go for increased range. But if you're doing PvE,
This is the
NPC
PvP.
combat, PvE.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just go longer range.
I think I'll do the shielded one. I don't know.
Shielded.
Unless I just
You
wait
want
to
that-
do my faster boot. I'd rather just do my faster boot sequence, but I gotta find chromium somehow. And I gotta change my
No,
ship
you
out.
don't need faster boot sequence.
I like that one because that brings it all the way down to like 2 seconds.
That's for restarting. If you turn off your module, the normal unengineered FSD, it will take you 10 seconds to reboot it, restart it, so that you can use it to jump. That's what faster boot sequence is. I think a lot of commanders think that will speed up your when you when you charge your FSD for a jump. So a lot of commanders seem to confuse that faster boot sequence with a faster charge sequence, which is normally 17 seconds before you then jump to the next system or jump into Super Cruise.
I
Faster
see.
boot sequence is just restarting the module once it's been turned off and turned back on. And it only applies to something like a situation where you're getting interdicted by glaives, which fire those missiles that knock out your FSD or reboot your FSD, or commanders in PvP that use those missiles to deliberately knock out your FSD when they see you charging your FSD to try and jump away. They'll fire one of those missiles and knock out your FSD, and it will take you 10 seconds again to reboot or restart your FSD. That's the purpose of that.
Yeah. Did you max out your increased FSD range, or you just have it on a lower level? Cause
No, max out. If I want maximum level, which normally is the case, I'll
then
max
you have
out.
to have a higher power. Then your power draw and everything has to be bigger too. Your power supply.
I think it draws more power as you go up the grades. I think if I can't remember off the top of my head.
Crazy how many upgrades this takes.
That's one of the things I
So
like.
many things to upgrade. Oh, and then on top of that, let's upgrade
Elite
your
Dangerous.
person.
So one person,
Damn.
so you can get so many different commanders, and all of them will have the same ship. They can engineer that same ship so many different ways. It's not funny. That's one of the reasons I like Elite Dangerous.
I mean, I could just leave it at level 2 and then just slap an experimental effect and never go any higher.
You can. I do that with some of my or the power plant. I do that with some of my ships. With the power plant, the more you say that you overcharge it, the more you get close to full max out grade 5, the more you're overheating. You overheat the power plant when it's in use. So sometimes just going to grade 1 or grade 2, so you don't, especially if your ship is overheating a lot, that will help a lot. And applying thermal spread as well. So it's something like I've done with the belugas. I like the belugas, but they overheat quite a lot. So modding the power plant to low emission and thermal spread, that's cured that. But that mod will not produce so much power, and won't output much power. So you have to take that into account.
There's just too much to take into account.
Yep. initially when you start, it's really overwhelming.
Yeah.
I was, yeah,
Holy
when I
smokes.
started engineering, I was just engineering my ships. A lot of my ships completely wrong. It was like, it was really the only reason I eventually started getting them right was using them the way I wanted to use them, and then it was like you find things that won't work and find things that will work, or basically use it, engineer it, use it, and make changes accordingly. Like this doesn't work, or that's overheating. Find out why it's overheating and make an adjustment and test it again, use it, and see if there's an improvement. Can I go further? But that's how my engineering started off, learning from mistakes I was making. But there's a lot of other stuff like out there that that commander's toolbox that was often a bit confusing, trying to make sense of it. But when I applied it to actually what I was doing at the time, that made more sense. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I'm debating whether I should just leave my my FSD drive at level 3 or max it out and just go with the experimental.
I would say max it out especially if you want a maximum range.
This
jump
is my
range that
cutter
you can
and yeah, jump a trade ship. Well,
Yeah, well, for me, all my cutters that do trade work, I want their range to be maxed out. So I've gone all of them, grade 5, increased range, and
man.
mass manager experimental.
I'm out of manganese now.
Or again, I get a lot of that from mining, laser mining, so that's not a problem for me. It just
I gotta get on your
fills up,
mining mission then one of these
fills
days.
up the bins. That's the most inefficient way to do it, but because I mine so much, it's and the missions, like I said, when FDev changed the mat the map materials, engineering materials ratios, or how much they and what they're giving out, it's just gone from struggling to keep them full to they just overload constantly. So I can waste them now, which is something I never do. Something I was always thoughtful of when I look at my mats and look at the requirements of the mats, and it's like I'm thinking, how long did I take to get those materials? And it's like, will that be worth applying to this engineering mat?
I'm
Yeah,
starting
I'd always
to
look
get
and
there
think,
now.
yeah. But now it just doesn't matter. I just get so many of those, it just doesn't matter.
On my FSD, I'm gonna put on thermal spread for the experimental effect.
Only if you're finding overheating.
Well, you mean you can always? I mean, yeah, you might always be overheating when you're spamming tab and you're, shooting lasers and.
The FSD, you want thermal spread if you're boosting. I mean, no,
Yeah, I
not
do a
boosting.
ton of boosting
Charging
and charging.
your if while you're charging, you're getting a lot of overheating and it's causing problems like overheating into the over 100 and damage. You're taking damage. That's
Oh,
when
over
I'd
100.
go. Yeah,
Should I do
that's when
mass
I go
then?
thermal.
Integrity?
I go mass manager.
Oh, that one? Not the strip down?
No, for longer range, you want mass manager.
Alrighty. Boom. Now to upgrade the next one. Engines. What do you do for engines? Drive strength, clean drive tuning, dirty drive?
Duties for speed, clean I think runs cooler if you're finding you're getting into
Clean's better
overheating
thermal,
issues.
better multiplier, yeah. You use your thrusters all the time, right? Or just when you hit tab to boost?
Only when if I
Right.
need to boost, I'll boost, but generally I do a lot of boosting. Like when I'm leaving a station, I want to get away from the station, mass lock ASAP, and so I'm boosting away.
Which Which one did you say you like to do?
For what the
Oh, you said drive
thrusters.
strengthening? Yeah.
Thrusters, I go for dirty drive for speed.
Security firmware patch.
If I recall, security firmware patch, I think that's a grade 4. Have you tried Material Trader?
No.
You should make a list of what you need for the engineering, what mats you need to complete your engineering, and then go to the 3 different engineers, the raw mat engineer, the encoded engineer, and the manufactured mat engineer. Oh, sorry, not engineer, the trade material trader. Because I've given you so many completed wing mission shares, and if you've taken all the engineering materials, you will have a lot of the high grade 5s, in which you'll be in a very good position to trade down.
Some stuff I have like 100, you know.
Yeah, it sounds like you've maxed out on a number of your materials bins,
Yeah.
but you should make a list of what you need for the engineering while you're at the engineers, and then go to the correct material trader. Because as I said, if you've been taking the engineering materials for these missions that I've given you, then you should be in a good position to trade down and get those mats.
Shield boosters. You like thermal, the resistance augmented one? It seems to do
A
all
lot,
three.
often
Kinetic,
the
thermal, and explosive.
augmented quite good. But when you're engineering them, do you use EDSY at all?
Yeah,
Or Coriolis?
kinda,
Yeah.
not really.
No, you really need to use that before you start engineering. That's the best. That's the best advice I could give you for engineering, because it's best to do it on paper first, and then look at the numbers, and if it's looking like good, yeah, then go
I don't know
spend
if it
your.
looks good till I try it.
Well, build it and give us a look at it. I mean, my builds. Well, actually, my builds work for me in my PVE NPC builds, combat builds, like and my hauler builds. But for someone else, it may completely not work for them, for their liking. Which is yeah, that's the other good thing about as I said, Elite Dangerous, because you could build these same ships so many different ways with the engineering and the components you can put into them.